Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor and we come to you from the banks of Gomti. We are here now because Gomti city, the city of Lucknow, the city of Nawab, goes to polls tomorrow, along with 67, 68 in fact other constituencies, as UP goes to polls in its very third phase. What you see on your screens right now are very new visuals, even for people of the capital here, Lucknow. This entire develops, Gomti front is something that the present government is talking highly about, saying it's one of the indicators of development. But will that message go across? How will UP be voting tomorrow? We are joined by, some very interesting people from different cross sections of the society to try and understand the pulse of the people. We've heard enough of the netas. Now is the time to vote. So what exactly is the voter thinking? We are here to find that out. I'm going to start by women here. Also because one of the most pertinent issues this time around is law and order. While it works against the present government, many say, in one way, the opposition, the BJP, has been taking it as the main agenda. They've got posters all over talking about how law and order will be thrown out. On the other hand, you have a woman as a chief ministerial candidate. That's Mayawati. So make me understand, what is it that will drive women to vote this time around?
See, a large number of the older women are definitely looking at issues of security. And the newer ones, the younger ones who are coming in are also very concerned about security because we work in the education sector and we are meeting young people who feel that security is a very major issue. Now, the kind of spate of rapes that there has been in the state over the past years, only 20-25% of them getting reported. So you can imagine the extent. The state of health issues for women, non-availability of washrooms, the fact that they have to keep going out.
I was in Badayu and we reported extensively on that rape case. I can tell you there were no washrooms even for us. People had to go to the fields. It was an abysmal condition. So those conditions still prevail. Do you think that is going to be driving the woman voter here in UP, or is it going to get back to the good old caste politics here?
Look, the caste politics will play out. So a woman voter may strongly tell us that, look, we want to vote for issues of security. But then there's so many other factors that operate on her within the home. So if she's undecided by the time she's going, for example, my mother is 84, she's quite undecided about issues. And God knows what she's going to do tomorrow morning. But then, people like us who are wanting certain issues of security and, health, better education. And, they have these free schemes for the girls, but it never works out. So the girls in university education are having to still pay. We've had the laptops coming, but there's so much.
Where are the jobs? Coming to jobs, I also have with me a young DJ in town. I want to understand from you what's going to be the tune of the season, according to you.
Somehow I feel I'm a radio jockey and we interact a lot with the young crowd.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of first-time voters, and first-time voters, I don't mean people who have just turned 18. First-time voters who are 20, 21, but they'll be voting for the first time because somehow they.
Are you saying they're driven to vote, like they think it's imperative to vote this election?
Right.
Why is that?
Because somehow I feel they know that how powerful their vote is, and this time it's a game changer because. As I say, it's a musical chair. Kursi ki ladai hai and bahut sara shuffling hua hai. So it's literally a musical chair this time.
Yeah.
So these people want to vote because they feel.
So they want to vote, but what do you think will drive their vote? There are lots of issues. I've been interacting with a lot of people, especially in the Western UP belt, where people tell me that they've got laptops, they've got smartphones, and they have a lot of educational institutes.
Yes.
But what they don't have are the jobs.
Exactly.
Where are the jobs? While the government has been able to provide for them to go to schools and colleges, they haven't been able to get salaries.
The very, very important thing is security, and the second thing is job. I am from Lucknow. I'm lucky enough that I'm working over here. I'm with my family. Most of the kids want to do that. They want to study here. They want to stay back here, stay with their family, and do well in life.
Well, I'm a Kanpur girl, now Lucknow girl. I would love to be here, but I had to travel as well.
So I feel whatever projects are happening, they're happening on the paper, a lot of blueprints, but if they actually happen, and which I hope they will, then it'll be great. And everybody wants a job near their house where they can go and meet their parents, weekends.
Do you
with
think the
friends.
young voter has evolved enough to go past caste politics here this time around, say that no, despite my caste, despite my religion, I will come out and vote for whoever promises me better security, better law and order and better jobs?
Of course, I totally vouch for this because our generation, I really don't believe in this casteism, and this is a very, very small thing for us. I really want to vote for the person who can really benefit me and the person who really works for me and people around me.
Well, we really hope that all the politicians there are listening to you, and a lot of people as well. Gaurav, you've been here, you've been studying UP for a very long time. In terms of entrepreneurs, you know, UP has been a place where the traditional business class vote goes to the BJP. This time around, they're a little disgruntled, maybe I understood, because of the note ban. There are others saying, you know, like the jewelers, etc., who are definitely not, you know, angry with the central government, saying that their voices weren't heard. What is it that is going to drive, like I'm saying, the percentage of people voting in the business class?
See, I'll tell you what, if you see the statistics today, UP comes out to be the 5th largest country in the world as far as the population is concerned. And UP has given a lot of business to this country. If we say we are the 5th largest country in the world, can you imagine the potential which UP is giving to India?
But has that potential been realized? Like, I can tell you about just 80 kilometers from here is Kanpur. They have huge tanneries. At one time, it used to be called the Manchester of the East, but not anymore. There are no jobs. The tanneries are they're shutting down completely.
Tanneries are finishing off because they're polluting the rivers. There's a Supreme Court ruling now that they cannot pollute the rivers. So unfortunately, they have to abide by the new ruling. And as far as the business fraternity is concerned, you know, like you said, the Manchester of East, the Kanpur. See, the times are changing. The times are evolving. The youth is creating an important effect into this election. If you see, UP is always known as the land of unlimited problems. But now, over the years, it's turning out to be the land of unlimited potentials and possibilities. Why? Because I think it all depends upon the leadership, the government which comes into the state. And when
talking about development, we are here in this very interesting place, and this is the developed UP. This is the developed Lucknow. But I have a question for all you people here. The development that we've seen here, we've seen only in the past year. We've seen only in the run-up to elections. Even the metro, the construction that we've seen here, it's only happened in the last year. What do you, as a local Lucknow person, say that while it's benefited you, has it really reached your house? So like I was discussing, is it development socially as well, or is it just infrastructure?
Yeah, it has developed, but we want more better system in terms of the women's safety. We want better system in hygiene, cleanliness. Because it is, whatever it's shown, it is showing here. But you go to the other parts of the city, there are not enough of development.
We want the PR part, it's not the whole of Lucknow.
Exactly, right. This has come up, definitely it has come up. But the other parts, the other places in Lucknow, that is also not, that's not
not a wholesome development. I want to come to you, ma'am. We were discussing a little while back on how important this time around it's going to be to ensure that it's for one and all. While UP is so divided in terms of caste, religion, creed, it's going to be imperative to think to perhaps rise above this time around.
Absolutely. There are so many issues on which enlightened people ought to vote. Education, health, social sector issues. This election has a lot of the discourse around the election has been to do with infrastructure, maybe a little bit on power, the prestige projects such as the metro project, the riverfront project, the roads that have been built. All of those are very important and helpful things, good things. But I think that the big but is that are these the things that really matter? When there's a scarcity of resources, where should you put your buck? And the point is that I would suggest that what's really
You're saying when there are people inside villages without toilets, when there are youth, when there is youth all around without jobs, how is it that a fancy riverfront will change their lives?
Exactly. I think that what's really important for development is poverty reduction, and that comes on the basis of providing secure, well-remunerated employment. Those are two extremely important things. Power is also important that we don't hear enough about. Of course, as Lucknowites, we have the advantage, we are privileged that we do have electricity almost 24
But
hours.
Lucknow is not UP. There's much more to UP. And as I wrap up this, I really want to talk in the end about the fact that how interesting this time the election is. There is no clear wave. There is no clear sentiment of one party winning or anti-incumbency. So it's seat to seat. It's extremely crucial and nobody knows. It's perhaps the floating voter this time around which will be so decisive. Many people and analysts saying that it's going to be a hung assembly. It'll be about those minute 1 or 2 seats that will matter. You've been doing some studies, sir, and tell us a little about it. How many percent, what's the percentage of floating voter A and how key will that be?
See, last assembly election it is estimated to be around 7 to 8%. Now, in 5 years' time, it has jumped to close to 17 to 18%. Huge. That is one. Now, undercurrent is difficult to read, but my belief is that whichever party will win, it will win with clear majority. Reason being, development is the issue, because this floating voter is not going to vote around caste, community, etc. Development will be the issue. And why development will be an
But
issue?
development, this word development, the word vikas is something which is being used by all political parties. Here the campaigns, Akhilesh is talking about vikas, BJP is talking about vikas, so is Mayawati, so is the Congress. But who will finally champion this cause?
See, something has happened on the ground in Uttar Pradesh. For example, old canal systems. Just look at one canal system in eastern UP, Saryu Canal system. Its irrigation capacity was blunted because of silting. In last 3 years, this government has recovered almost 70% of that. It means in eastern UP alone, 14 lakh hectares of new irrigation capacity. Two, look at Lucknow-Agra Expressway. Noida is India's most efficient and most diversified industrial hub. That hasn't traveled to central UP and eastern UP. Now, once this connectivity is there, it begins to connect. Third, look at agriculture. Agriculture, India loses around 1 lakh crore worth of agricultural produce annually. UP produces 30% of that, almost 30,000 crore. This expressway connects our farmer from central UP and soon from eastern UP also with rest of the markets all across the country.
But has that made inroads into villages? Has that
Exactly.
mattered
It
to
has.
cause?
It
Hold
has.
that thought on the issue of farmers. We're going to talk more on that. We'll slip into a small break. There's more on the other side as we come to you live from the Gomti riverfront in Lucknow. Remember, this is the third phase which goes to polls tomorrow. Many still saying they don't know whom they will be voting for. We slip into a short break now.